So Bionic Dance has asked that we explain something that she just can't put her finger on, something intangible. Let's do this. So Kate, this isn't going to be really edited or scripted. I'm trying to come from a place of genuineness for you, for your benefit, okay? I imagine that you have this feeling that people are talking behind your back, and it's more than just like drama about death threats from Tommy Parkey or nude photos or video of you on YouTube, you know, that's, you know, everyone's sharing around and having a giggle. It's more than that. They've got some sort of argument against your arguments, and you just can't grasp it, you know? And I know you've had this feeling because you've stated as much in your videos that somebody just didn't watch your video. You know, that you had what they needed in a video, and then they come back with a video completely not understanding you, you know? And you might feel that you are on the other side of this, for this this question. You might see that on Social Blade you've been losing subscribers over the last month and be wondering, well, why is this? I'm making quality videos, you know? Same quality I've always done. And it's been good quality, Kate. It has been. But there's some intangible that you can't put your finger on, right? And I can speak from experience that there is a community here on YouTube that do share arguments against Bionic Dance in a way that they would not share these arguments with Kate in a video face-to-face, but this joking around the coffee table style, you know, just telling it like it is, it's not really coming across. And I have the balls to do it, you know. I don't give a fuck, you know. If Bionic Dance takes my video and takes me out of context, or how I feel is out of context, and you know, just shreds this video into little pieces to get a word in edgewise, you know, that's fine. You know, I don't give a fuck. Because to me, the currency of YouTube is not who is right. You know, and that's my perspective on a lot of people on YouTube, that they're afraid of being wrong. They don't admit when they're wrong. And even you, Kate, you have made some videos where you said that you were wrong, you made a goof, but they weren't in the realm of theological debate. They were things like you didn't understand the correct rollerblading path, you know? Little things. You've thrown people a bone to say, hey, yeah, I'm willing to admit where I'm wrong. And then, people make a video explaining something and you don't seem to understand it. And where you've been wrong never seems to be within the context of what you are debating in your videos. It's always, you know, some life issue thing. Here goes. Here is what I think you're not seeing. You have conflated atheism with the default position. Now, you know, the all babies are atheists, you know, if you remove yourself from theism for just a minute and act like an atheist, that's where I think you're coming from here. But what you're not seeing, especially in your video, Ignosticism is Irrelevant, you're not seeing that in order to perform logic or the scientific method or things of that nature, you need to remove yourself from bias. And when you make a dichotomy of atheism versus theism, you have to be able to remove yourself from the question in order to use one of those methodologies to look at it. And you have appealed to the authority of your own definition of atheism, which, by the way, I will just say right now, is one definition which can be valid. Situationally. But it's funny that you're not taking every portion of the definition of Igtheism and giving it any merit. You know, it's like you don't even read the definition. You're like, no, atheism versus theism dichotomy is more important than Igtheism and its definition. Well, just reading that definition of Igtheism, you have to understand that if you're using a proper order of operations with logic, Igtheism comes first, and then the question of atheism and theism happens. Okay? It's not the other way around. You can't just favor the question of atheism and theism. In fact, you say Ignosticism is irrelevant. No, it's not. Try to understand here. If you cannot suspend your belief or disbelief in something, then you cannot apply science as a methodology to it. Alright? Here's a guy, me right here, with degree in a social science. You know, I have one of my majors was psychology here, okay? I'm trying to tell you that you are not understanding the science methodology thing, okay? You have to remove biases, and this conflation of atheism as the default position. No. That's where we're disagreeing with you here. These are atheists who don't think that atheism is the default position. You know, they're not appealing to the authority of babies and what babies think it should be the right way. They're looking at atheism and theism as, you know, it is a dichotomy, but you can remove yourself from it. You know, and look at it. These are the kind of people who can compartmentalize their religion or their lack thereof on Sunday, go to work Monday through Friday, and have no conversations with their coworkers about their religion that they do on the weekend. You know, and work on something. Technicians, scientists, you know, because they're removing themselves from their biases. Now, I did say, just a little while ago, that the Bionic Dance definition of atheism is a valid one. But I don't believe that it's the only valid one. In fact, this is a refutation of those people who would, behind your back, call her binary dunce, you know? This is a good definition. The problem is it's not the only one, right? The reason why it not being the only one is a valid refutation of Bionic Dance and her channel and the things on it is because you have the atheism and theism dichotomy, right? You've got people on one side or the other. Now take those sets, and she has used set theory in her videos. Take those sets and apply it to real world situations, right? And I've made a video about this categorization error, you know, for Bionic Dance before, and gotten no understanding from Bionic Dance, from Kate. You know, if you on the atheist side add the Nez Perce Indians that are around her area that believe in the raven and the wolf, if you add Buddhists, if you add Taoists, if you add agnostics, if you add all these other people that she would say, well, they're not theists, so they're atheists, then apply it to something like, I would like to start a campaign against the oppression of people in favor of theism, right? You start taking this and saying, okay, we can't have religious things in the Supreme Court, and we want to argue that, and so we're trying to muster our base here. We don't want any religion in you know, we want a separation of church and state here. Well, if you've got Taoists and Buddhists in your atheism column and you're appealing to those atheists to say, hey, we need to fight this, then you've got a problem. Your set is improper for what you're trying to do. You should be using, like in one of her sets, she has used strong atheists, right? Let's say, for an example from BionicDance's own videos, she has said that her enemy is faith. It's the opposite of, you know, skepticism and reason and all. If you are taking atheism versus theism, right? Some of those people in that set of atheism who don't believe in a God have faith in something. There are even atheists, strong atheists by faith, because they just see that science works. And they don't really understand much because, you know, they're between baby and adult somewhere. And they just haven't learned enough to, you know, say that they empirically know what they know. You know, they're taking it on faith because they see science doing so many good things and Richard Dawkins poning people, and they want to be able to pwn people. But besides that, you know, there are Taoists and Shintoists and stuff that don't have, you know, any sort of God perception here that are being categorized, and they're in that set of atheism for her dichotomy. Okay? Also, in the theism category, there are Catholics who completely reject faith. They actually believe that they have empirical evidence of Yahweh, Jesus, and all that. You know, they don't think that they need faith. In fact, the Pope has said things about this. Okay? So then you want to take this set, this dichotomy from Bionic Dance, and apply it to the fight against faith when you've got people that are on the wrong sides of her dichotomy. Okay? The definition can work for some situations, but for others, it does not. Okay? And I feel like appealing to that as a definition from some book somewhere. Brian J. 1962 completely covered that more than a year ago, you know? But we're still, you know, we're appealing to the etymology of the word, you know? And originally, atheist was used to describe Christians who didn't believe in Greek gods. What the fuck, you know? Words have meanings, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing. If you still conflate atheism with the default position, alright, and you can't think that you can remove yourself from the biases of both atheism and theism, you have a small understanding of the methodology of science, such as a freshman high schooler taking algebra is told you can't divide by zero, and, you know, in college people are taught, oh yes you can, but, you know, when you're a kid we teach you that so that you don't go there because it's very hard to teach kids. So in this way, Bionic Dance's videos are very important to the movement of spreading all of the logic behind her, you know, discarding theism that she sees, you know, discarding, you know, faith and all the bad oppression. Her videos are good, just like high school math teachers are good. They do good work. Bionic Dance does good work, because most people, when they come into questioning whether or not they want to be part of their religion or not, they go research things, and nowadays they're finding YouTubers who, you know, they're explaining little parts of the puzzle. Alright? But you need to understand that there is a world of higher intellectual thought that is beyond that actually will explain some of these things that some people like Bionic Dance are taking as a given, that, you know, if you're in the default position you're an atheist. No. You know, it's just so happens that theists have more biases, you know, and you can remove much of your biases by removing theism from your thought processes. But atheism is, in fact, a bias. If you can't understand that a Christian might look at a study run by atheists and say, well, that's biased because it was run by atheists. If you can't understand where they're coming from, you just don't have this higher understanding of the methodology of science or of logic, period. You know? That's what Bionic Dance is failing to put her finger on. Am I going to tell her to stop making videos like she's making? No. Nope. She is teaching Atheism 101 to people. You know? It's a great introduction. You know? And I'd say that from somebody who has hundreds of videos that are from the atheist perspective, you know, to somebody else that has hundreds of videos from the atheist perspective, keep making videos. You know? But some people are going to enjoy Bionic Dance for a while, and then they are going to move on to a different understanding of the world.